Hi, Juan here with Político, a Spotify original from Anchor.fm, or now known as Spotify for podcasters. Do you want to make a podcast just like this one? Maybe better. I'll let you decide. It's easy and as simple, literally at your fingertips. If you go into your app store, you can download Spotify for podcasters, or you can visit the web browser at podcasters.spotify.com to start a free account today. With Spotify for podcasters, you will be able to upload your podcast to all platforms, including Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, and all the other platforms out there. You can also create video podcasts, which can be uploaded to YouTube or other streaming platforms. At the same time, you can create interactive phase for your fans. This is Q&As, polls, and even invite your fans through a link that would allow you to talk to them on a one-on-one podcast. With Spotify for podcasters, you can also earn money, including a podcast subscription and ads just like this one. All the best and totally free. There's literally not a catch. So since we found Spotify for podcasters, we have been working to make our podcast better every day, and I highly recommend it. If you want to start your podcast, definitely give it a try. Download Spotify for podcasters, the app, or go to www.spotify.com/podcasters to get started today. Hello, everybody. This is Juan Collado Díaz with Político, a Spotify original from Spotify for podcasters and Anchor.fm. Today, we'll be talking a little bit on the topic of abortion rights. And, we talked a little bit about this in my first release episode, but I wanted to share a little bit more in depth since I went to an event. It was very interesting to me, and we talked about Issue 1 in Ohio. For those who don't live in Ohio, this is the opportunity to get educated a little bit more about Issue 1 and what is going on in the state of Ohio. This past August, we had a special election. The people voted for Issue 1 or against Issue 1. Most votes were voting no. In November, we will also decide whether reproductive rights, including access to abortion and stuff like that, should be entered in the state constitution. This will appear in your ballot as Issue 1. That's the proposed constitutional amendment. And I'm going to share a little bit of things that what you need to know about this and whether, by the end of this podcast, you'll be convinced to vote yes or no in November. We'll see. I personally know that I am voting yes for Issue 1. And I will be also releasing a voter's guide that you can check on the link to my podcast. Regularly is at the end, just my personal link tree or link in bio that has all that information. So let's still talk a little bit about what's Issue 1. I know many of us voted, or at least Ohioans voted in November. So this Issue 1 will be in the ballot in November. Definitely different from the special election in August 2023. Only thing that they have in common is in their both ballot initiatives, which explain it's very well explained in the Ohio Secretary of State website. If you also want to check that, I'll leave the link in the podcast description on Spotify. This new Issue 1 will be following the state constitution, pretty much the right to reproductive freedom with protections for health and safety. Every individual has the right to carry out one's own reproductive decisions. That means that women has the right to take Plan B, birth control, fertility treatments, continue one's own pregnancy, miscarriage care, and abortions. A lot of women are suffering because Ohio is one of the many states that started the heartbeat law, which means, after 6 weeks, which is pretty much where women are finding out when they have a kid or they're pregnant, they cannot have an abortion, which is pretty much called what they call, quote unquote, the heartbeat law, which, in the best way I can say it is just pure BS. To not curse too much in this episode. So it's just pretty much some government of separation of church and state, which I don't want to do. So I got the opportunity to speak with Catholics for reproductive rights, and they gave me a really good amount of words. I think they were beautiful, and I wanted to first put their opinion before I go a little bit more into the rest of this podcast. So let's just listen to the person from Catholic for Reproductive Rights, and let's see what they have to say.
My name is Nicole Marino. I'm the Ohio field organizer with Catholics for Choice. We are voting yes on issue 1 for 4 reasons. 1, because of abortion access, the help for miscarriage care, fertility treatment, as well as access to birth control. And it's because of our faith and not in spite of it that we are actually getting involved in the reproductive justice movement.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So let's talk about the elephant in the room. Again, I don't think I ever used that term outside of this podcast, but anyways, is abortion legal in Ohio? The simple answer is yes. Abortion is legal, however, there's been abortion after 21 weeks, 6 days of pregnancy. That's the restriction in Ohio. If you are past the 21 weeks and the 6 days, you're pretty much screwed up there, and you have to go to another state outside of Ohio to pretty much be able to get an abortion, which is what we're trying to resist and fight with issue 1. State law ban abortion around 6 weeks of pregnancy in Ohio went into effect as of June 24, 2022. That's when Roe v. Wade was overturned. So right now, the law is challenged in the courts. There's no effect into that one. So the heartbeat law is technically there, but not there. So for that, if you have more questions than that, I will ask your, physician, or use the website again, abortionfinder.org, or visit your local Planned Parenthood, and they will be able to answer those questions at a deeper level, since it changes in every city, it changes around the state, and it's not like, you're going to get punished by law. There's many people, including myself, that will help you go across state lines if you have to get an abortion. And there is also websites like plancpills.org, which pretty much can give you a Plan C pill, which is a abortion pill that you can take from home. And those are also very efficient. And abortion pills, pretty much, I just want to explain that a little bit to my knowledge. For early abortions, typically 13 weeks or less. They are available in in-person clinics. They are banned from online clinics, but pretty much some clinics are willing enough, like Plan C online website is willing to give you the pill if you need it and you really want to and you are okay with it. Their website, again, as I mentioned, plancpills.org. It is a safe website. It's one of those safe websites that if you click the button escape, you can pretty much leave the website and go. It will send you to the Weather Channel, or it will send you to Google. Something that I love. Honestly, I love when websites do that. And the best part is that it creates an auto-blank page and does not allow you to go back to where you were before. So you can't really even know that you were on that website. So you can do that safely without being judged or having someone judging you. Now let's just run a little bit more with other people that I talked to. I went to this event in Ohio that explained a little bit more of issue 1, and we were talking, about who supports issue 1, who doesn't, who's opposing. Pretty much you have Protect Women Ohio, a small coalition, Ohio Right to Life, which is just literally a bunch of old people that are going to die in the next 5 years. Don't want to sound rude, but that's pretty much it. It's just Christians that are trying to force church and state together, pretty much white nationalists. Again, not to offend anybody. And the Catholic Conference of Ohio pretty much is also opposing with fire. But then you have other people, like Catholics for Reproductive Rights that are really big into this. You have Citizen Action of Ohio, which is really big, supporting on issue 1. You have Ohioans United for Reproductive Rights, then have thousands of hundreds of petitions out there to get issue 1 on the ballot, and pretty much endorsed by over 60 organizations in Ohio with no problem. And then opposing, as I mentioned before, on top of all that, is the Ohio Republican Party. As usual, the Republicans have to make their little bullshit, I guess, to make themselves feel better. Issue 1 has good sponsors or endorsements, pretty much. Catholics for Choice, there is Ohio Citizen Action, There is the Ohio Nurses for America, Ohio Valley Now, Ohio Student Association, Cleveland Votes, Cleveland NAACP, Quality Ohio, Faith's Choice Ohio, Faith in Public Life, Feminist Majority Foundation, Five Organize for Rights, Freedom Bloc, SEEIU Local 1. They have SURJ Ohio, Students for National Health Program, Heartland Conference UCC, Human Rights Campaign, the Matriots, Trans Ohio, Sensible Movement Coalition, Women's City Club for Greater Cincinnati, Young Latino Network, Avanzamos Unidos, Ohio's chapter of the National Lawyers Guild, Legal Aid. They have a good amount, and this is just a small part, and there's 60 endorsements total. So there's like 60 organizations, and half of Ohio still voting for this. As we know, people went out of their way during the August election. I mean, honestly, nobody wants to go out and vote in August. You vote in November pretty much every time that you can, and that's it. But this time, people went out of their way and voted no on issue 1. So we can keep this, and work around this. So that, just to begin with, that is awesome. And I'm going to give kudos to everybody who took their time, took the time out of their day to do this and go and vote. So now I'm going to pass with some people that are talking about why they're voting yes in November and why you should vote yes in November. So I'm going to mention that these people authorized me to use their voices on my podcast, and they just do a regular interview with me. These are random people that I caught at a protest, and I asked them. So let's hear them out.
Maya. I use they, them pronouns. I'm from the Cleveland area and I work for Pro-Choice Ohio as a field organizer. I'm voting yes on issue 1 because I firmly believe that abortion is healthcare and everyone should have equal access. By banning it, they're disproportionately affecting people of color, people who are marginalized, and who have already been oppressed for so long. We need to uplift this, to get rid of the ban, vote yes on issue 1 to make sure that everyone has the treatment they need and are treated fairly in our society.
My name is Evie Dodd.
And I'm Tracy Reynolds.
And we're both voting yes on issue 1 because we believe every single person should have the right to control their own destiny, including their reproductive destiny.
It shouldn't be a political issue, but it is. Unfortunately, it's a human rights issue, and if you vote yes on issue 1, I just tell people, then you're voting for your rights.
We believe in the future of Ohio and everyone having the right to choose. And we're with the Cleveland Pro-Choice Escorts.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to quote Whoopi Goldberg, who says, it's just, you have your beliefs, I have mine. It's what I choose should not impact you in any way. And that's what I don't understand. Pro-life people just forget that life goes on after birth. They're really over.
I believe in a person's right to choose and the importance of having our own autonomy over our bodies. And I would urge anyone who is thinking of voting no to think about if they were in some sort of situation where they needed to take control of their own health, why they would want to have the right to do that.
Hi, my name's Jackie. I'm voting yes in November because I have 2 daughters and many grandchildren on the way. I hope that you will get out there and vote yes as well to protect the rights to choice for the children and our future generations. Thank you.
Lastly, on today's episode, I want to introduce a really good friend of mine and political activist in Cleveland, fighting for abortion rights and the women's rights to choose. Emily Terry, good friend, I guess I said, an activist, organizer in the Cleveland community, and the organizer of the event that I attended today. And I'm just going to let her share a couple words, more than a couple words, actually, share a lot, or a little, however you want to see it. Her words are always powerful and very inspiring to me, as they are to many people, and I hope that they're as inspiring to you as they were to me, so I'll let you go ahead, Emily.
Abortion rights are an issue that affects everybody. It's an issue that impacts racial justice in this country. Like somebody pointed out here today, this is a worker rights issue. Pregnancy and parenthood, these are it's unpaid work. It's a lifetime of unpaid work. And, you know, if we don't seize control over those basic human rights, we will be in a really dark place again. So, you know, I'm out here today fighting for really basic human rights. Honestly, anytime I hear from people who are anti-choice, I just have to think about the fact that, you know, they talk about preserving human life and you know, saving a human life. But, you know, we are not forcing anybody in this country to donate blood, donate kidneys or any other organs to save a life. You know, we don't violate anyone's bodily autonomy when they're here. Even when you die, you have to, you know, check on your license that you're going to be an organ donor. And I think it's just incredible that, like, you can be a corpse and have more rights than somebody with a uterus today. I think that that's one of the best arguments for voting yes on issue 1 and supporting abortion rights.
There you go. And again, if you are unsure to where to vote, make sure that you go to www.vote.org. That is www.vote.org. And just remember, then this November 7th, if you are in Ohio, to vote yes for issue 1 and vote yes on issue 2 also. You will listen to me again in the next podcast. Maybe I'll have someone else with me. Maybe not. We'll see how that goes. Thanks so much for listening, tuning in, and until the next time. Político with Juan Collado Díaz is a Spotify original from Anchor.fm, and Chuck Norris approved. Right, Chuck?
Chuck Norris approved.